The Fox and the Crabs. Once upon a time, in a dense forest filled with lush green trees and vibrant flowers, lived a cunning fox. This fox was known throughout the forest for his cleverness, quick wit, and mischievous ways. Despite his sharp mind, he often found himself in tricky situations due to his overconfidence and impatience. One hot summer afternoon, the sun shone brightly in the sky, and the forest felt like an oven. The fox, with his tongue hanging out and his stomach growling in hunger, roamed around looking for something to eat. The heat made him even more irritable as he trudged along the forest paths. His mind focused on finding some delicious food to satisfy his hunger. As he wandered deeper into the forest, his sharp eyes caught sight of a vineyard. The sight of the vineyard instantly lifted his spirits. Hanging from a sturdy vine were clusters of juiciest, most luscious looking crabs he had ever seen. Their deep purple hue glistened in the sunlight, making them look even more irresistible. Ah, those crabs look perfect! Just what I need to quench my hunger and thirst, thought the fox. Licking his lips, he approached the vine, eager to taste the sweet fruit. The crabs, however, were hanging high above the ground, just out of the fox's reach. Determined to get to them, he positioned himself directly beneath the vine and decided to jump. With a strong leap, he extended his paws toward the crabs, but they were too high. He missed them by a few inches and landed back on the ground with a thud. The fox was not one to give up easily. Maybe I didn't try hard enough, he muttered to himself. He took a few steps back, calculated his jump, and tried again. This time, he jumped higher, scratching his body as far as he could. But again, he missed the crabs. Frustrated but still determined, the fox thought of another idea. I will try running and jumping. That will surely give me the momentum I need, he reasoned. He passed back several feet, focused his eyes on the crabs, and ran as fast as his legs could carry him. With all his strength, he jumped, but alas, the crabs remained out of reach. The fox tried again and again, each attempt more desperate than the last. He jumped, he climbed, and he even tried shaking the vine to make the grapes fall. But nothing worked. Exhausted, sweaty, and still hungry, the fox finally sat down under the vine, panting. As he looked up at the grapes, he felt a surge of anger and frustration. Why am I wasting my time on these silly grapes? He thought. There probably saw anyway who once saw grapes. With that, the fox turned his back on the vine and walked away, his nose in the air. He tried to appear unfazed, but deep down, he was disappointed. His pride wouldn't allow him to admit that the grapes were simply out of his reach. As the fox disappeared into the forest, the grapes swayed gently in the breeze, as if mocking his failed attempts. But the fox convinced himself that he had made the right decision. Those grapes were not worth the effort. He muttered to himself, I am better off finding something else to eat. Moral of the story. The story of the fox and the grapes teaches us an important lesson. It's easy to despise what we cannot have instead of acknowledging our limitations or finding ways to improve. We sometimes dismiss our failures by pretending we didn't want success in the first place. The fox's behavior reflects how people sometimes deal with disappointment. Instead of accepting defeat and learning from it, they label their unachieved goals as undesirable. The moral encourages us to face challenges with perseverance, accept our shortcomings gracefully, and work harder toward our goals rather than giving up or making excuses. This timeless tale reminds us to strive for self-awareness and to turn our failures into stepping stones for growth, rather than letting pride or frustration cloud our judgment.